Hey everyone, I'm Nito King and this is Eryi's Action. Let's just get right into it. I had some interesting frame rate issues with this video, and some interesting wash tub issues. Yeah, that's the formation that I really hate because once you see it coming, it's too late to do anything about it. You just have to run. But moving on, we're finally going to get into the ice level. And this one doesn't have nearly as many ice physics, the type that everybody hates. You're not going to slide around on the ledges or anything like that. The snowball has a surprisingly generous hitbox. And the rest of the traps are mostly pretty easy to see coming and avoid. And it's actually a useful hint box. Although you kind of have to figure out what it means by double jump, but... Oh, hey, look at that. A bird frozen in an ice block. I guess that means I can use this one as a step. Yeah, that's the only way you're going to get across there. Oh, whoop, whoop. Okay, I don't know how I survived that. That igloo usually kills you. Anyway, you need to carry this mushroom across the water so that you can use it to get over this wall, and here's the double jump I was talking about. That's a really important technique. Now this pump here freezes the water for a few seconds, and you gotta be fast, but not too fast. You've also got to be able to jump. Well, that's the first and only time I ever tried going over the spikes. All the other times I've been to this level I went under them, because this gives me a second bird that I can use to make another step. And then the jump is a lot easier. Up there you can see the gem for this level. It's really tough to get. And that pump only freezes the water once. So you gotta be careful not to waste it, although frankly I find it useless. And I'm completely out of birds to use to get up to the gem. Don't worry, it'll only take me infinitely many tries. And I've gotten really good at this part, especially since I discovered you can pick up one of the birds instead of having to jump over both of them. Yeah, that's how I used to do it. So at least now I've got a spare bird. And you just have to throw it far enough that it lands on top of the pump and bounces off. Now, if I throw short, it'll land on top of the ice block instead of in the water, where I can recover it and make another attempt, and another, and another. Yeah, this is going to go on for a while. Because even when you do manage to throw the bird far enough, you gotta jump early enough to land on top of it at the height of its bounce. So I'll just speed through all my failed attempts here. Okay, that didn't take me nearly as long as I expected. I thought I was going to fill up my hard drive with video. Now I'm pretty sure it's possible to take the bottom road there and run across the frozen ice, but going over the top is easier, so that's how I do it. Don't jump on that last block, it'll kill you. Now we're in the home stretch. The rest of the level has a lot of tricks to it, but I don't think it's all that difficult, really. There's a couple ways to get up to that ledge. One of them I'm going to save for the death montage, because this is the way I always did it. It feels like I'm abusing the game mechanics, but it works. Now all I gotta do is make sure to land on the chicken when I land on the flagpole. Huh, that usually works. Okay, there is a better way to do it. The bird was the one that I discovered the first time through the game, but you don't really need it. There's also this gray block over here, which you can pick up. There's no trap to it. Use the ferry to get across the spikes, and of course, make sure you jump way too far. And the block has to land to the right of the snowman. If it lands to the left, you'll die. That's all there was to that level. In my opinion, probably the toughest level in the game, aside from maybe the final boss. Now we got a castle. Hope you remembered that the map screen tries to kill you. 'Cause I did. And now we got this fortress type level. Like I said, the hints are a complete waste. They say this stage is easier than the final stage. I'm not sure I agree with that. The final stage has a lot more checkpoints. And you really need to be precise here. You're only seeing about half of the traps. I got a lot of practice in this level the first time I played it. It also helps to know that you can catch those bombs in midair. Check it out. Kaiser block. Kaiser block. And you can't even stand on that one. They just throw layers of traps upon layers of traps in this game. But this is the only really hard part of the level coming up, I think. A lot of it takes some precision, but this seems more of a matter of luck than precision. Because now you got one of those bears that only moves when you're facing away from it, and you have to bounce on its head to get to the flagpole. And I really don't know what I was thinking there. If you're trying to adjust your jump in midair, you're facing away from it most of the time. And that just isn't going to work. This elevator is, of course, trapped. You have to wait until it starts moving faster, and then jump off. So let's give this another try. You gotta bounce on his head twice. That'll do it. And now the rest of the level is pretty smooth sailing. Still a bunch of traps, but most of them are a lot easier to avoid than the stuff we've seen so far. And the gem up there, as long as you notice it, is incredibly easy to get. Especially if you got the one from level 2, and you know that you can grab those blue bullets. I don't even really care if I die here. I've got the gem. I'm gonna need another bullet. I'll just carry it with me for the rest of the level. And stay to the left here. I don't usually see quite that many enemies at once. I think I got lucky with the spawns or something. I'm just gonna wait until everything is gone before I move. There's no rush. And here's the hint block way at the end of the game that tells you can pick up the blue ghosts. Oh, and the bonus stage in the vase? It's a trap. Not just because there's a flower in the vase. Let's see, I usually throw the bullet from here and try to race it. That doesn't seem like a sensible suggestion. Maybe I can use this bullet. Not quite high enough. I gotta release my own bullet a little higher than that. Use it to bounce over the wall, Mario 3 style. And that's the end of the level. No more traps, just a flagpole. It's almost disappointing, but I guess they really didn't want to pile too much stuff on you at the end of a level like that. So it's the third level in the sequence. Time for a boss, and this one is my favorite. That's right, it's an RPG-style battle against Eryi. You pick all your actions from menus, and most of them are pretty useless. Eryi's attack, for example, only does 1 hit point of damage, so never do that. The magic attack is what you want to use, that's pretty powerful. And then she can also hide to protect herself from damage. If anything hits her, she dies. Also, you can explode to do a bunch of damage, but then she dies. I'm going to hide this time, because he attacks the first character in line. Now, the bird can attack. It's moderately damaging. Protect will protect Eryi from one attack, but the bird will die, which usually isn't a good idea. We can also defend. That will cut the damage the bird takes in half so it can survive one attack. And explode will kill the bird and do a lot of damage. I'm going to defend this turn so he can keep fighting. The box boy's attack is pretty powerful, actually. Jump will take him out of the battle for one turn, and then do a lot of damage in the next turn. Heal All actually brings the bird back to life if it's dead, and restores everyone to full HP. And Explode kills Box Boy and does a bunch of damage. This round I'm going to attack, because what else have I got? There's two strategies I know of to beat this boss. This is one of them, the one that I discovered. So for the second round, he's just going to charge up and attack, which means I need to do as much damage as I can this turn. And now's the time for him to unleash the magic attack, so I need to get Eryi out of harm's way. The bird can't survive it, so he'll just explode, and Box Boy will jump to get out of the way. And now, unfortunately, Eryi has to hide again because she's defenseless. You really have to turtle for most of the fight. And now, it's my final turn, so I just have to do as much damage as I can, and hope it's enough. And you get one useless experience point. It's a strategy boss fight, and once you know what you need to do, you can beat it every time, which is why I love it so much. So next up, it's Farda's Tower, at the top of which we'll finally fight the troll herself. But you wanted to see deaths, so here you go.